Hey, this is Adam Post, publisher of College of the Dead, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books, and former board of directors executive member with Platinum Studios, the comics, the film company. And we are going to talk about something really interesting. There are rumors, these are rumors, but it's something that's going on. It's something that's being talked about. It's something that's very likely to be happening in the future. A sequel to Joker, and it's in supposedly early development. We're going to go on to the first article and talk about it. I have a couple of articles about this I want to go over. Um, if you're into Joker, this is something you want to know about. First, I want you to go ahead, do me a big favor, subscribe to the channel, go ahead and click the bell for notifications, and like the video. All right, let's get on to this. So this is coming from We Got This Covered. We Got This Covered. It does have rumors. They don't all come true, but, when it's an official release, it's an official release. From these guys, yes, it's rumory, but there are other things that Joaquin Phoenix says. Hey, I said his name right this time. There are other things that he has said about it. Joaquin Phoenix, there are things that Todd Phillips has said about it, the director and co-writer of Joker. It's in other articles. Let's check it all out. So this is coming again from We Got This Covered. I'll have the link in the description. And do you want to see a Joker 2 sequel there? Do you want to see a movie? Yeah, put it in the comments. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me if you think there's going to be one too. Put it in the comments below. So Joker 2 in early development will be set years after the first. All right, Todd Phillips Joker may have been a bigger hit than Warner Brothers was anticipating. It definitely was a bigger hit than they were anticipating. That's not even a question. The wholly original story, which stars Joaquin Phoenix in the titular role, has made nearly, this is 750 million. It's now up to like 850 million at the worldwide box office amidst tons of controversy and contention from critics and audiences alike. What controversy? Controversy because he was violent and it was a comic book movie. Yeah. Right, we all heard that, but no shootings. Everybody loved the freaking movie. And despite what the filmmakers have said in the past about there not being a sequel, this looks like the phenomenal movie will now be getting a follow-up. This movie was made like on a $60 million budget. A $60 million budget, you're hoping to get back, maybe $100 million in box office gross. Sometimes you don't even get that. And this did like 800 million. So obviously this sequel's coming, okay? So sources close to We Got This Covered, the same ones who brought them the previous confirmed scoops, such as Black Mass homosexuality in Birds of Prey, and Viola Davis's return for the Suicide Squad. Not to mention, they also told us that, it's a rough name, Mahershala Ali was going to play Jim Gordon in the Batman before he had to drop out, which we now know to be true, have informed them that the sequel to the Joker is in the early stages of development over at Warner Brothers, with the studio fully intending to continue Arthur Fleck's path to infamy. How interesting. How interesting. Now, a lot of complaints about the Joker has been that Arthur Phoenix's version of the Joker is isolated within the DC mythology. So, as previously mentioned, Phillips' plan for the character was completely original, albeit with several obvious tie-ins to the classic Scorsese loner film, lunatic films, right? Focus like Taxi Driver. Focusing around a disturbed man who becomes absorbed and illuminated by the chaos around him, rather than directly presenting the clown prince of crime persona Batman fans are familiar with. A lot of these concerns will be extinguished by Joker 2, though. Really? How so? According to their sources, the film, which will take place several years after the events of the 2019 Golden Lion winner, it's an award, will focus more on Arthur's rise as a criminal in Gotham City rather than his descent into madness. Should this idea, which is he thinks not good, I think it's good, continue to materialize, it wouldn't only be a bloody Avenger, but it would also be the first sequel of Joaquin Phoenix's career. Okay, well, if he's in it, but yeah. But when it's this much money, he's going to be in it. As long as he's able to do his art, why would he not want to be in it, right? Obviously, this is a role he's going to be mostly remembered for anyway. So why would he not do it? With all that said, The only solace he takes is the possibility of Joker 2 is that the actor's been willing to break his career-spanning rules, showing that if he believes it can be done well, then maybe it should be too. So he hasn't read all the other articles that we're going to look at. This is another article in IndieWire. Okay, Joaquin Phoenix stirs Joker sequel buzz, where the character can go is endless. This is a quote. This is Joaquin Phoenix said this. This is going all the way back to October 7th, which is a couple of weeks ago. But he actually said this. So this isn't like from some rumor. Okay. Now the Joker had at that point made $100 million almost in its opening weekend. The possibility for a sequel might be inevitable for Warner Brothers. Okay. Yes, of course, this has spoilers. So, director and co-writer Todd Phillips shot down a potential Joker 2 last month when he told IGN, "We have no plans for a sequel. We always pitched it as one movie, and that's it." However, leading actor Joaquin Phoenix isn't so bluntly closing the door on a sequel. In a video interview with Popcorn and Travers, you're going to get a link to this too, don't worry. Phoenix said he can't stop thinking about the Joker role and what the future might bring. Quote, I wouldn't have thought about this as my dream role, but now honestly, I can't stop thinking about it. I talked to Todd a lot about what else we might be able to do in general just to work together, but also specifically if there's something else we can do with Joker that might be interesting. So it ended up being a dream role. It's nothing that I really wanted to do prior to working on this movie. Interesting. So Travers mentioned that Phoenix expressing interest in a Joker sequel marked a huge departure for the actor. The actor Oscar nominee famously turned down offer from Marvel's Doctor Strange movie because it meant signing a multi-movie deal. Which, why would he want to be a playing character? And he's not going to be. It's not going to be something that he's going to want to be able to do creatively. It's going to be very routine, being in a Marvel big budget movie. Quote, I don't know what that there is more to do. Phoenix said, me and Todd would still be shooting now if we could, right? Because it seemed endless, the possibilities of where we can go with the character. Moviegoers who saw Joker over opening weekend know the story sets up a potential Joker 2. The climax of the film was a riot incited by Joker that leaves Thomas and Martha Wayne dead. In the world of Phillips' Joker, the villainous character indirectly puts the young Bruce Wayne on a path to becoming Batman, which is interesting because it shows you that in that way, Joker's own destruction or salvation, however you look at it, was set up by his own action when he was responsible for the death of Bruce Wayne's parents. Would a sequel pit Phoenix's Joker against the Dark Knight? Robert Pattinson is playing Batman in the 2021 tentpole directed by Matt Reeves, although Phillips has said a crossover with Phoenix and Pattinson is not planned. That's probably very unlikely. They'd just create another Batman for this Joker's universe if they did that. But like they're doing with Venom, like Venom is in Venom 1 is no Spider-Man. Venom 2, they are going to introduce Carnage and Shriek, it looks like. But you shouldn't expect to see Spider-Man in Venom 2. But there's a lot of talk of a Maximum Carnage take for Venom 3, where they would have Spider-Man, because it's kind of ultimately they probably will have Spider-Man. So you could get another Batman, but I don't know. There's a lot of stuff they could do creatively. Obviously, Joaquin Phoenix is open to it, and this was before these comments he made. That these quotes are from before the movie made all the money it did, and before he got all the acclaim as an actor. This is all right. The last article we're going to go through about this, but this has a slightly different take. And this is in express.co.uk. Joker post credits. Will there be a Joker 2? Is there a sequel? So Joker. Okay. So Joker. This is from October 10th. They talk about, well, will there be a second film? People are really excited about it. So in the latest DC Comics film, a real departure for the DCEU extended universe. It shows Arthur Fleck, played by Joaquin Phoenix, as he becomes the infamous supervillain, the Joker. But he's really a villain. Is he a supervillain? I don't know. Probably not. The Joker, because the film is far more intimate and personal than most superhero movies. Yeah, it's a small, very intimate, very personal, very Scorsese-styled movie. Will there be a Joker sequel? Okay, there's been a great deal of speculation about whether Joaquin Phoenix will return to play Joker,
with some fans desperate to see a return of the new incarnation of the deadly villain. Desperate? It's, it is very good, but don't be desperate. Watch the movie again. Even director Todd Phillips has been asked about this, especially on whether Joaquin Phoenix's Joker will return to face his archenemy Batman in the upcoming DC movie, The Batman. They are not going to cross Joaquin into the mainstream Batman movies. There's no way they would do that. I mean, the reason I would say no, tell me in the comments if you think differently, okay? Make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications as well. But tell me, do you think they would use this Joker with that Batman? Why would they? Because, well, first of all, the next Batman is not going to have Joker in it anyway. In any event, let's go on. You tell me what you think. You know what I think. I already said it. In this film, Robert Pattinson will play the Cape Crusader, though at present Hollywood insiders suggest it will be Jonah Hill in the villain's role, either as Riddler or Penguin. Probably, I don't know. Hopefully they do a good job of that. But Todd set tongues wagging, talking, when he spoke to Total Film about whether Phoenix's Joker could appear in the Batman. He said, "One thing I'll tell you, I would do anything with Joaquin any day of the week. There's nobody like him." That's what you say about working with talent when you love them. You love them, you say stuff like that. I've said stuff like that before too. Comics-related stuff that I do. Okay. If he's willing to do it, and if people show up to this movie and Warner's came to us and said, you know what, if you guys could think of something, well, I have a feeling that he and I could think of something pretty cool. Of course they could. After this sent shockwaves around DC fans, however, Phillips later seemed to retract the statement and said, he told Variety, the quote was, "I will do anything Joaquin wants to do, and I would." And that is what he would do. But if Joaquin, obviously, because if Joaquin doesn't want to do it, it's not going to happen. But the movie's not set up to have a sequel. We always pitch it as a one movie and that's it, which makes it a more powerful story anyway. But so what? The movie made hundreds of millions of dollars, more than they expected. There's going to be a sequel. Asked whether there was more to come, he added, no, definitely not. Oddly, in the States, this is what he said, oddly in the States, comic books are our Shakespeare, it seems. You can do many, many versions of Hamlet. And what he's talking about is, you can do different takes on classic characters. And that's a good reference. It makes good sense. So there'll be many, many more Jokers, I'm sure, in the future. The ending of the film certainly, and this is true, the ending of the film suggests the film is a beginning of something rather than an ending. So the film ending as it did, it may seem fitting for more Joker's adventures to come to the big screen. But Phillips, okay, it's Joaquin. But Phillips has even suggested the idea of a post-credits scene would not be fitting to the narrative, let alone an entirely new movie. According to Variety, he said, the idea of a post-credits scene in this movie would seem wrong and a little too light for me. That would have been that wouldn't have been something we did. But Joaquin Phoenix said it would be funny to put bloopers alongside the names like they did in the old days. Boy, that would have been funny. And it also would have been maybe the humorous side of Joker. It would have been a little bit light, but still, why risk the tone of the movie? DVD extras or something like that. Why not? So that's this story. I'm going to have links to all three of these articles in the description. Go ahead and tell me, do you think there will be a Joker sequel? I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say 95% chance there's going to be a Joker sequel. It would almost be, unless they can't execute creatively, but there's enough stories. There's enough things that you could do. And Joaquin, rules are made to be broken, and you only break a rule for a good reason. But a good reason like this, again, tell me what you think in the comments. Like this was a role he was made to play, impressed a lot of people, made people think about movies and comic book movies in a different way. That's not something that you should walk away from, right? And also, I want you to check out my graphic novel, College of the Dead. Check it out.
Hey, I'm Adam Post, creator of the College of the Dead graphic novel comic book series. Take a look at the printed prototype. This is what the book's going to look like. And we've got the 100-page ashcan book of College of the Dead. This shows how we made the book. It's got all the script and layouts. It's really, really educational, and it's really great behind-the-scenes stuff. And we have the art book, which is an 8.5 by 8.5 black and white book. It's all the art without any lettering. A really terrific book, too.
The way you can get College of the Dead is to go to collegeofthedead.com It'll bring you right to the Indiegogo page where you can buy the book. You can check it out. You can see the first 12 pages, sequential art. I think you're going to love the story. I know you're going to like the comic. You will love it.
collegeofthedead.com.